Stop before you empty your pocket change or roll another batch of pennies for the bank. Take a second look. Not at the shiny coins, not at the modern zinc discs. Look at the old ones, of the dark ones. The wheat pennies with dates ending in 0. If you've ever seen a 1950, 1940, 1920, or 1910 wheat penny and thought, it's just another old cent, you may have already handled more money than you realize. Collectors aren't talking loudly about these dates, and that silence is costing ordinary people real wealth. Here are the wheat pennies that still hide in plain sight, and why each one is rarer, scarier, and more valuable than most people ever imagine. 1. The 1950 no mint mark wheat penny. The sleeper that feels too recent? The 1950 wheat penny doesn't scream for attention. It doesn't shine. It doesn't look rich. And that's exactly why it's dangerous. Why it's overlooked. To the untrained eye, 1950 feels modern. Not ancient, not dramatic. It's just old enough to ignore. But that year was a pressure cooker. Post-war America was surging, industry exploding, population rising, demand for money skyrocketing. The U.S. Mint wasn't crafting coins for collectors. They were pushing out coins to keep a nation moving. And when pressure rises, anomalies slip through. What to look for? No mint mark Philadelphia. Solid copper, 3.11 grams, 19 millimeters across. Lincoln's portrait with crisp jawline and coat details. Wheat ears on the reverse that still show separation. The collector's obsession. Survival is the real rarity. Most 1950 pennies were spent hard, cleaned, or destroyed. Cleaning kills value forever. Collectors want original dark toning, not bright surfaces. In very fine original condition. A 1950 no mint mark. Wheat penny is now commanding around. Check the date. Check for a mint mark or the absence of one. Do not clean it. Do not spend it. 2. The 1940. No mint mark wheat penny, the calm. Before the storm. 1940 sounds harmless. Almost boring. And that's exactly why this coin keeps slipping out of pockets and into cash registers, taking a silent fortune with it. The hidden pressure. America wasn't officially at war yet, but the pressure was already building. Europe was burning. Factories were shifting. The mint was bracing for chaos, and when a system prepares for crisis, precision suffers. What makes it valuable? Inconsistent strike quality. Some details bold, others barely there. Collectors hunt for sharpness in Lincoln's cheekbone and clarity in God we trust. Wheat lines that still breathe, not blurred from overused dyes. The survival problem. Millions were struck, but very few survived without damage. This was a working coin in a working economy. It was spent, abused, scrubbed, polished by people who thought they were helping. 3. The 1920. No mint mark wheat penny, where survival gets brutal. When you see 1920, your brain says old, but not that special. That single thought is how hidden wealth disappears forever. A nation under stress. America was stumbling out of World War I. Inflation was biting. Jobs were uncertain. The mint was under enormous strain to keep money moving. Coins weren't collectibles, they were tools. And that pressure created scarcity in a way most people don't understand. What collectors want. Honest wear, not sharp perfection. Lincoln's face softer but still defined. Wheat ears that whisper, not leap off the surface. Original dark toning and uneven surfaces that prove the coin was never cleaned. In fine condition. The 1920 no mint mark wheat penny is now reaching. This coin doesn't beg for attention. That's why it wins. 4. The 1910. No mint mark wheat penny, the one that ends arguments. If you've ever seen a dark, tired-looking 1910 wheat penny and thought, this thing's been through too much, you were standing inches away from hidden wealth. The early century grind. 1910 was not comfortable. Cities were growing. Industry was accelerating. The mint wasn't preserving history. It was fighting to keep the economy moving. Dyes were used relentlessly. Detail loss wasn't an accident. It was a byproduct of survival. Why it's so rare. No mint mark Philadelphia. These pennies weren't saved or admired. They were spent until they became ghosts. Most were worn beyond recognition, melted, lost, or destroyed by cleaning. The fine condition danger zone. In fine condition. The coin looks spendable, tired, like something a grandparent would have tossed into a jar and forgotten. That's why people are still losing these today. Collectors fixate on tiny things. The shape of the one and the date, spacing between numbers. Even wear across both sides. Original, unclean surfaces. The hard truth about hidden wealth. Every single coin we just walked through is still being spent today. Still being lost in change jars. Still slipping through fingers that don't know what they're holding. The 1950 that looks too new. 1940 that feels boring. The 1920 that seems to warn. The 1910 that appears finished. Silent fortunes never do. What you can do right now, check your change, especially wheat pennies with dates ending in 0. Look for a mint mark or the absence of one Philadelphia. Do not clean anything. Original toning is value. Cleaning is destruction. Get professional grading before you even think about selling. Most people miss these coins because they look ordinary. Stay curious. Look closer. The next ordinary penny in your pocket might not be ordinary at all.